Hello, our dear panelists. So at this point in time, once again, we present to you our study entitled Physical Activity as a Predictor of Academic Distress Among College Students. I, Jan Cyrus Arellano.
And I'm Jimuel Cortez.
And I'm Rimart O. Pailago. Statement of the problem. According to Chaput et al. 2020, Parok et al. 2020, lack of physical activity prolongs sitting, academic stress, and physical inactivity. And for our gap of the study, according to Xiangwei Xiangdi, Jiangwei Sandu, and Hu T 2021, physical activity, exercise, stress buffering hypothesis, stress buffering and behaviors, anxiety and stress level. And for our research questions, for our number one is, what is the level of college students' physical activity in terms of frequency, type, and intensity? And for number two, what is the level of academic distress among college of students in terms of academic load, time management, and coping strategies? And number three, what is the relationship between the frequency of physical activity and the level of academic distress among college students? And for last, is there a significant difference in the relationship between physical activity and academic distress among college students when grouped according to the demographic factors such as age, sex, then your level and program? And for our scope and limitation, quantitative research and self-reportive data, recall bias, and social desirability bias.
Now for our review of related literatures. So this is to support in our research question. So, dimension in our research question. Physical activity improves physical and mental health. Reduces stress, anxiety, and depression. Enhance academic performance. Lack of physical activity increase mental health risk. Studies show exercise improve mood and coping ability. In physical activity, it improves mental and physical health, increases well-being, and reduce stress. Active lessons, breaks, and 5 to 10 minutes, and promotes self-concept and body image. Lack rest of illness and low performance. And on our frequency, intensity, and time. So in frequency, we have regular 3 times a week, improves mood and lower anxiety. Intensity, vigorous activity, greater resilience. And time, longer and consistent exercise enhances recovery. Academic distress factors. So stress from workload, exams, pressure, exercise plus relaxation equals to lower burnout. So constructive coping is effective. Schools need mental health programs. When it comes to academic load, physical activity builds resilience, reduces learning burnout, positive sports environment lowers stress. Daily activity improves recovery and performance. Time management. prioritize tasks efficiently, reduces frustration and disorganization, better performance, less failure, practice, knowledge, and skills retention. Coping strategies. Adaptive coping equals lower depression, exercise, relaxation, and social support. Gender affects coping style, emotional intelligence, pay, and stress control. Is the principles. Balance between mental and physical work. Exercise strengthens mind and body. Overstudy without activity equals to weakness. Harmonious development equals to ideal education. From source council to parents and teachers, page 295. And for our theoretical concept framework, self-determination theory, autonomy, competence, relatedness, exercise, build, self-esteem, and mindfulness. It improves psychological resilience. It enhances academic motivation. In our research paradigm, independent variables, physical activity, dependent variable, academic distress, indicators, frequency, duration, intensity. So it shows direct relationship.
And for our methodology overview, we have the descriptive correlational design, quantitative approach, and measured relationship to physical activity and academic distress. For our research design, it's called descriptive correlational design. Descriptive describes diverse correlational fine connections and uses numerical statistical data. For our population sampling, we decided 200 students from faith-based university, especially here in the AUP. We use purposive sampling, and we will choose 4 colleges, which is College of Education and College of Business, College of Nursing, and Dentistry. For the College of Education and College of Business, we will use the various programs under these colleges. And for our research instrument, it is structured survey. We have 3 parts. Number 1 is demographics, and then the physical scale and the distress scale. So the expert will validate the pilots tested. So it's reliable and accurate result. So for data gathering procedure, number 1 is approval from advisor institution, then by validation and file testing. Final distribution, data checking, and encoding. And then number 5 is statistical analysis. Of course, in our ethical considerations, we assure that it is voluntary participation, confidentially assured, anonymized data, and the ethics was approved from AUP board. So this is for our data analysis, descriptive stats, mean, and frequency, correlation test, relationship of variables. And results determine predictions accuracy. So this is the we will show to you the appendices and budget and Gantt chart. The total budget we have 7,500, and for the activities it will start in October to March. Then the research stage is proposal to defense. So that's all for our presentation for our proposal defense. So we are now ready for your questions.